Welcome to Entrepreneurial Inspiration. This is Paul speaking. Subscribe to our channel if you want to know the best success stories of the best entrepreneurs in history. Hungry Jack's is a fast food restaurant chain that operates as a franchise of Burger King in Australia. It opened its first establishment in Perth in 1971 and currently has more than 300 locations throughout the country. Companies often change the names of their brands when expanding to other countries. Sometimes this is due to language issues, while other times the reasons are more interesting. In 1954, Burger King was founded as Burger King and grew rapidly through franchising. By simplifying the name to Burger King, the fast food chain created its iconic Whopper burger in 1957. Currently, Burger King has 17,700 establishments worldwide, and one can go to any Burger King and be sure to receive their favorite Whopper exactly how they want it, with one exception: Australia. Australia is the only country where one cannot find Burger King, but instead, Hungry Jack's. When Burger King arrived in Australia in 1971, it found that there was already a local restaurant with the same name. As a result, Burger King provided the owner of the Australian franchises, Jack Cowan, with a list of alternative names they could use as a temporary brand until they could regain the name. Cowan chose Hungry Jack's, a name that Pillsbury used in the United States for a brand of pancakes, to which he added an apostrophe to give it his personal touch. Hungry Jack's was practically the same as any other Burger King restaurant in every aspect except for the name. Over time, Hungry Jack attempted to acquire the local Burger King trademark, but its attempts failed. As Hungry Jack's became the largest Burger King franchise outside the United States. Despite not operating under the name Burger King, the relationship between Hungry Jack's and Burger King Corporation became strained. If you are enjoying the video, please support us by giving us a like and subscribing to our channel. In 1996, the commercial naming rights for Burger King in Australia expired. This situation became even more complicated when Burger King attempted to terminate its agreement with Hungry Jack's, leading to a tense relationship between the two companies for more than a decade. The multinational company sought to change the name of all Hungry Jack's locations to Burger King. Australian franchisees opposed Burger King's proposal, which led the case to court. At one point, Burger King even opened its own restaurants in New South Wales, Victoria, and Canberra. As a result, Hungry Jack's, which also operated as Burger King, found itself competing with Burger King itself. In 2001, a design company was commissioned by Burger King Australia to redesign the Hungry Jack logo. The work was well received by the company, which showed satisfaction with the final result and the brand standards guide that was developed. However, the new brand was never made public because by that time, Burger King had closed its operations in Australia. Hungry Jack's chose not to implement the redesign and kept its original logo. Finally, in 2001, the dispute between Burger King and Hungry Jack's was resolved in court. The Australian court ruled that Burger King had violated the terms of the franchise agreement and acted unfairly. In 2003, Burger King and Hungry Jack's reached a collaboration agreement, under which all Burger King locations in Australia were operated by the local franchise Hungry Jack's. After years of efforts to obtain the right to use the Burger King name in Australia, Hungry Jack's made a surprising decision in the end: to keep their original name instead of changing it to Burger King, even though they eventually had the rights to do so throughout the entire Australian chain. Although Hungry Jack's had been trying to obtain the Burger King name for 40 years, they built their own valuable brand on the name Hungry Jack. This name was local, had a strong market presence, and was completely Australian. After all that time, changing the name would have been a bad decision. It is ironic after such a long and difficult fight. Subscribe and don't miss our weekly videos full of inspiration and learning. Entrepreneurial Inspiration, created by an entrepreneur for future entrepreneurs.